What is up, survivors? Ace of Nova here, and today I'll be introducing my first quick guide video, which is designed to give you, the viewer, as much pertinent information as possible about a particular subject or game without forcing you to watch 30 minutes of raw, uncut videos of players harvesting thatch or, getting teabagged by Giganotosaurus. There's other websites for that. Anyway, today we'll be discussing the brand new creatures that will make their debut in Ark Survival Evolved Genesis Part 2. We'll touch on the abilities, as some of them will completely change the way we all play the game. If you're interested in one specific creature, we have each of them timestamped in the description box below. Jumping right in, first up we have a creature that will appear very familiar to Genesis Part 1 players called an Astrodelphis. As you can see, the creature is similar to the Astrocetus, which you can find in the lunar biome, though it's much smaller in stature. Anyone who's successfully tamed the Astrocetus knows too well that the whale is painfully slow and really awkward to maneuver. Well, the Astrodelphis is here, boasting an equipable tech saddle that will come with thrusters, actually allowing the rider to shift between modes of flight and fire lasers that are meant to instantly strike targets in front of it when they're fired. To me, it seems the Astrodelphis will be the spacefaring fighter jet of Genesis, and I am ecstatic to tame one of my own. At number 2, we have the Stryder. This wild tech critter's primary use will actually be dependent on what the developers are referring to as attachments. Now, some attachments will turn it into a harvesting machine, while others will tune it to more specifically combat use. Another lesser understood quirk is that some attachments will allow it to take on the appearance of another creature, such as a parasaur, and also give it a drill-like mouth for harvesting. I'm not exactly sure why you'd want to change the appearance of this magnificent beast into a parasaur, unless maybe you're trying to hide? But then who's not going to notice the giant obelisk-sized parasaur hiding behind a tree? Maybe it'll shrink down in size. I have no clue. I suppose we'll have to wait for Part 2 to release to find out. Number 3, what we're looking at is the poster child for the upcoming DLC known as the Nogin, or referred to as the Brain Slug. We see it every single time we log into Ark, but, well, what is it? This sadistic monster, cute as it may be, is actually capable of mind-controlling both creatures and survivors, which means this animal could assist with forcing wild creatures into taming pens or even hostile survivors into cages of their own, which is just a great way to have a friendly conversation, right? The only information about how to actually tame these little bundles of joy simply states, the Nogin can be tamed with sacrifices. Well, okay, you know what? I'm not going to judge. After feeding several dodos and a megalosauros to a bloodstalker simply to up its taming efficiency, I should probably just be quiet and prepare some inactive players on my server in anticipation for Genesis Part 2, Diplomacy Evolved. Number 4, let me introduce to you the Maewing. The addition of this squirrel platypus hybrid is likely one of the most efficient, time-saving animals you could invest in. This motherly creature will actually care for new babies in your stead. Imagine setting up a breeding farm with all your tames set to constantly doing the dirty deed and pushing out fertilized eggs or babies, and once they come out, the implication from the developers is the Maewing will simply start taking care of them in your place so they don't perish while you're either logged off or riding your Stryder pretending to be a parasaur for some reason, As if this wasn't enough, the Maewing has a devastating use in PvP. This creature will have the ability to steal baby tames from other tribes. Now, I could try writing this in a funny way, but I don't think I could possibly outdo the quote from Gamepedia itself, which states, Maewing can steal enemy offspring by luring their young for an irresistible suckle at its bounteous teats. Yep, that is the exact quote. In addition to being able to glide, Gamepedia tells us that the Maewing may have been genetically engineered. Yeah, I think we all knew that. Finally, at number 5, we're going to be talking about the animal I'm certainly the most excited for, the Shadowmane. This creature's abilities are actually based on its gender. Females will be able to cast invisibility on itself and other friendlies, while males will be able to roar, which will boost the confidence of its allies. A shared ability to both sexes will include a dash attack, which will damage all targets in its path. This will be great for clearing out those annoying PvE ads in boss fights and PvP players with an army of smaller tames. And with that, the meat of the video is over. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a thumbs up. That will encourage me to continue making videos like this for Ark 2 and other games. If you're interested in joining my Ark Cluster or following me on Twitch, it's all in the description box. We'll see you all in the next quick guide video.